Hello everybody, this is Damien, your captain speaking. Welcome to this Blender EEVEE 3.5.0 alpha flight. Today we'll be creating a jewelry animation using EEVEE. Lay back, relax, and enjoy your tutorial. Let's get started. We have the default cube right here, tab key, front view numpad 1, go to loop cut here, set it to 5 times. Go to the move tool right here, Alt A to select all, Alt Z X-rays. B, select these two levels, scale here, Alt A, B, select this level, scale here, now move it a bit higher. There, we'll tweak everything as we go. Alt A, B, select this level, scale, Alt A, B, select this level, scale up, Alt A, B, select these two levels, scale down. Here, Alt A, B, take the last level here and scale to make it very small. Don't make it a short tip that rarely happens in gemstone. Select this level, tweak the height here and scale there. Alt A, B, select the 3 top levels here. E to extrude on the Z-axis and give it some girdle. The girdle are the facets running around the stones. Tab to exit edit mode. Control S to save. Go to your folder and call this EEVEE Jewellery Animation. Enter, save, and be happy. Go to edit mode, A, tweak the Z scale if necessary, like this. Exit edit mode. And menu, Alt Z. Look at your square stone right here. Now set the dimensions at 5.5 and don't forget to copy and paste the Z scale. Now go to edit mode, select everybody with A, do a face, poke faces. Do an Alt A to select everything. And now select all the secondary vertices we've just created. Select with the exception of this top vertex. Now do a scale like this. This is not realistic, but it will help rendering more refractions in EEVEE. Exit edit mode, Ctrl S, save, and clap with me. Now go to F2, call this Square Princess Fantasy Cut Diamond. Save and be a happy princess. Now numpad 1, front view, add mesh circle. Center it to 0. Vertices 120, radius 9.1, like this. Take the diamond and move it up. We'll tweak that later also right here. Take the circle and call it ring size reference. Now go to top view numpad 7, add curve circle. Go to edit mode. Go to snap option, absolute grid snap. Turn it on and turn the snap little magnet right there. Now take this vertex and move it to the grid. Now take that vertex and move it to the grid here. Now this one there, here to the main corners of the light gray grid. Now this one here, right there. Now with shift, select the other vertex, W, subdivide. Now take this vertex and move it to the grid right there. Select everybody with A, V to set the handle type to vector. Now here, this one and that one, W, subdivide, move this one here. Create this corner-like design as a Bezier curve. Exit edit mode, Ctrl S, save, and be Bezier. Now turn off the snap magnet right there. Go to the side view, go to the side of the diamond right there, add curve, Bezier curve. Go to edit mode, create a curve that goes there, and up here, like this. Select this complete handle, do an SX0 to make it completely straight. Use the move tool to tweak the curve if further necessary. Exit edit mode, object data properties, resolution 45. Go to the top view, numpad 7, rotation on the Z-axis 45 degrees. Now bring the curve somewhere there to the corner of your diamond. Go to object data properties, geometry, bevel object. Select the corner curve we created earlier, this one. Look at your prong, the orientation is not correct, but no worries. Go to edit mode. A to select everybody, go to a mean tilt of 45 or whatever works for you. Now grab the vertices and adapt the position. Don't forget that the metal must grab your gemstone a bit like this. Make an SZ if necessary. Now, adapt the position of your prong, so the top of the prong is higher than the gemstone to properly set your diamond. Don't forget to fill caps and also take the lower vertex right there and put a mean radius of 0.5. Don't forget to go to front view and check that you are under the ring size reference because we're going to cut the prong. Exit edit mode, save, and be prongy. Object, shade, auto smooth. Right there. Now go to modifiers, add a remesh modifier with a voxel size of 0.05. Use the smooth shading. Now add a smooth modifier, factor 100. Now do a Control A location. Now do a mirror modifier based on the diamond here on the X and Y axis to complete the prong setting. Save and be happy as a prong. Now select the diamond, go to edit mode, Alt A, Alt Z, front view, B. Select the girdle right here. Do a Shift D to copy it, P selection to extract it. Select the girdle you've just extracted, go to edit mode, A, and lower it right there. Take these secondary vertices, W, the solve vertices. Now go to modifiers, solidify, thickness 1, offset 1, or whatever works for you. Let's go at thickness 0.7. A, scale the belt so it doesn't touch the gemstone but unite the prongs. Alt Z transparency, Alt A select the lower vertices like this. Alt Z solid view, adapt the thickness here. Make it smaller, scale here like this. Keep watching that your belt does not touch the gemstone like this. Alt Z, A, select everything, Shift D, Z. Don't forget to create the lower belt. Scale it like this so it stays inside of the prongs. Alt A, B, select the lower vertices, bring them lower here and make them smaller to stay between the prongs like this. Go to front view, Alt Z, Alt A, B, select the top vertices again, adapt and tweak, exit edit mode, Ctrl S, save and tighten your belt. Now call this belts. Now select the prongs, call that prongs curve. Do a Shift D, hide the original prongs. On the copy, do an Alt C to convert to mesh. Now call this prongs mesh. Save and get ready. Take the finger size reference, do a Shift D, go to edit mode, do an AF. Close this, move it to the back, extrude it to the other side. If necessary, do an A, mesh, normals, recalculate outside, exit edit mode. Take the prongs mesh, add modifier boolean, difference, fast, remove the ring size reference. Hide the ring size reference with H. Now take the belts. Add modifier boolean, fast, object, ring size reference 001 right there. Check that the lower belt is not too small. Go to edit mode, adapt this position if necessary. Scale and tweak, exit edit mode. This looks nice. Ctrl S, save and be happy as a gemstone setter. The setting is done. Now let's create the body of the ring. Take the ring size reference, do a Shift D, rename it body. Go to edit mode, Alt Z, Alt A, B, select these vertices, delete vertices. A, select everybody, extrude to the right on the y-axis, right here. Exit edit mode, object set origin to geometry, set to 0 on the y-axis, Alt Z for a solid view. Add modifier, solidify modifier, thickness 1.5, offset 1. Add a bevel modifier and add a subdivision surface modifier here. Tweak the thickness as necessary, 1.35. Tweak the strength of the subdivision as necessary, let's go at 3. Tweak the bevel as necessary, 2 segments, 0.5. This is good. Edit mode, A, SY, tweak the width as necessary to come in between the prongs perfectly like this. Exit edit mode, save and be happy. Do a Shift D, click, call this supports. Go to edit mode, front view, Alt Z, Alt A, B, select the left side, delete vertices. This side, delete vertices. Alt Z, A, move this to the left side, right there. Now go to front view, Alt Z, Alt A, and tweak the position of the vertices to create the supports. Let's go up there. One by one, you'll be fine. It's just a couple of vertices. Grab with G and tweak the positions right here like this. Now turn on proportional editing up there. Select the top vertex here. Save and be safe. Move to the left and exaggerate the position like this. Now select everything with A. Turn off proportional editing. Alt Z, tweak the position so the support touches the prong and touches the body of the ring. Now extrude on the y-axis and create the supports like this. Do an SY to compress the top and expand the bottom like this. Now, if necessary, do an Alt A, Alt Z, C, and tweak the shape of your supports like this. Fine tweak your design. Now, exit edit mode. Tweak the thickness of the solidify to 1.7 like this. Now, don't forget to add a mirror modifier based on the body of the ring. Here, find the correct axis. Mine will be the X and Z axis like this. Don't forget to merge at point 1. Ctrl S, save and be safe. Go to edit mode, turn off proportional editing, tweak the position of the ending right there so it all fits together like this. Exit edit mode, Alt A, Have a look at your ring. Your ring design is complete. Control S, save, and be happy for you. All right, now let's prepare the rendering and the animation of this jewel using EEVEE. So let's go here and render engine EEVEE. Great. Now let's go to shading. Let's go to render preview. Let's remove this light here. So obviously we need an environment. Let's go to world properties, color, environment, texture right here. Everything becomes this magnificent pink, you know, typical Blender pink. Let's go to open. Let's open your favorite HDR. Today I'm going to use a Kaylee Interior 4K HDR from Polyhaven. Go download it. Here it is. Okay, now we need some material. So let's select the diamond. It already has a material because this was a default cube with its default material. Let's call this diamond. All right, so let's start the basic settings. The color, check that it's full white right there. Now, roughness 0, specular 1, IOR 2.418, like this, transmission 1. Obviously, we'll have to do settings for better refractions. You know that EEVEE is more limited, but that's why we're here. We're going to see that we can do something about this. Now, the rest needs a new material. It's called white gold 95, metallic 1, roughness 0.1. Let's bring that material white gold to the side supports and the body of the ring right there, white gold. So maybe you want to make this a yellow gold. So bring an RGB socket right there, full color, plug it right here in base color. Then bring a color HSV. You can tweak the saturation here. Let's save and be happy for a while. Don't forget to assign the material to the belts right there. Now, don't forget to check smooth shading or auto smooth shading here. Obviously on the diamond you need a flat shading, but now let's go to layouts again. We're going to create a floor plane, center it and make it 250 in size. Now grab on the z-axis and set it to the ring right here. Call this floor. Now front view, I'll control 0. Let's set the camera to the front view. So grab the camera, center it on X, move it higher there and lower this. Okay, this disappears. We need clipping at 12,000 right there. Okay, set the position and the angle somewhere at 70 degrees. Here, obviously we'll tweak that later. Resolution square, 1920, square like this. So bring the camera closer, whatever suits you best. So take the floor, go to edit mode, side view, Alt Z, Alt A, B. Tweak this, extrude, 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 extrude. Camera view, check that you're covering the entire camera field. Edit mode, object, auto smooth. Let's go to materials, new material, floor. Okay, let's bring the cursor to the center. Go to add mesh cylinder. Okay, vertices 120. That's good. Now scale it. 7 on the z-axis, 42 in diameter like this. Now set it to the floor, grab it on the z-axis and bring it right here. Do Control A, scale. All right. Take the jewel, the prong, the base, make a copy of the jewel, Shift D, click, create a new collection right there, and move your copy to collection 2. Call the collection to ring. Now let's create a new collection. Let's call it set. That will be the camera, the cylinder, and the floor. Let's bring it to the set collection. Let's hide this collection right there. And let's save and be happy for a second. All this, make an Alt C, Control J. Don't forget the belts. Don't forget to do an Alt C to convert it to mesh. Then select the other object, Control J. Okay, let's go at shade, auto smooth, edit mode, Alt A, L on the diamond. Go to mesh, shading, flat faces for the diamond. Exit edit mode. Now let's do an object set origin to geometry right there. Rotate the ring, center it, set it on the little stand right here. Rotate and adapt. Camera view RZ. Move it a bit to the side right there. Okay. Take the small podium and call it small podium right there. Save and be happy. New material, go to modifiers, add bevel. If you forgot to do Control A, all transforms, it's time to do it on the little podium. Now let's set some bevel. Let's go up to 0.75, 3 segments, shade, auto smooth, save. Now let's go back to shading. So now in shading, let's go to camera view. Take the floor, set a red pinkish color like this. Make it metallic at 0.5. Set the specular to 0, and the rest is good like this. Take the small podium, full color, make a brighter pink like this is great. Set some metallic at 0.5, some roughness at 0.2, but now we need to put some settings. So let's go at ambient occlusion. Yes, turn it on. There, the distance, go at 10. See, now we have a bit more contrast right there. We're going to use some bloom right here. Threshold, well, find what suits you. Okay, so threshold 0.5, intensity 0.1, radius 3. Now let's go to screen space reflection. Turn them on. You see the reflections are already better. Turn on the refraction right here. Use the full trace, so remove the half resolution for the refraction and screen space reflections. And thickness 50 and an edge factor of 0.2. Now on the small podium, let's go to layout, let's go to edit mode, face mode, select the top face, do an inset here, do another inset right there. Now save for a second and let's select with control all the faces all around here. Now do an extrusion, one level slightly down here and the second level down here. Now go to side or front view, Alt Z, Alt A, vertex mode, Alt A, B, select the two levels we've made here, go to materials, add a new material, let's call it neon, right there. Assign to the selected vertices, exit edit mode, save and be happy. Let's go to shading. Now that neon is going to have 0 roughness, 1 specular, and it's going to emit a slight bluish light at a strength of 50, like this. This is to add something interesting to the render. Save and be very happy. Okay, now everything looks pretty fine, but the diamond, this is not good at all. You must agree, you must do something about it. So let's go to material settings. Let's select the diamond material and let's come down here to setting. All right, we're going to use the alpha blend for the blend mode and no shadow. Show back face, yes, and turn on the screen space refraction right there. Now the depth, let's stay at 0 with the refraction depth, but turn on the screen space refraction and stay at 0 on the refraction depth. Now turn on the subsurface translucency and put 64 as a pass index. That's already a bit better for the diamond, but let's give it a next step to add some refraction. So let's go to your favorite search engine and let's search for a princess cut diamond top 2 like this. Let's go to images. Now look for an image like this one with a lot of facets. So save the image wherever you like. Go back to Blender. Now here we're going to add texture, image. Let's go to color, put it into the color. Let's go for your image. Mine is right there. Now we're going to need some texture coordinate. All right, plug the UV into vector and we're going to go to UV editing. Now we have the diamond selected. If you don't have it selected, do an Alt A, L on the diamond. Go to a front view somewhere here and do a UV project from view bounds like this. Now let's go back to shading. Save and be happy for a sec. Okay, we have this. This is already pretty interesting. Let's go to add an HSV color node right there. Now set the value at 5, 3, or what suits best your HDR settings, depending also with the saturation, 3 maybe, 5 here. Okay, so this is the first couple of settings. Do an F12 for a render preview to test the HDR and the materials. This is great. It renders in 81 milliseconds. So obviously for animations, it's always great. Okay, this is a first render test. It's pretty interesting. We still need to do a couple of tweaks. Okay, now here, let's turn on the backface culling right there. It gives a better solution for these sharp black facets that we don't like at all. Okay, so use a bright contrast node on the HSV, exaggerate the value and set the contrast higher or lower, depending what you need. Then go to add vector mapping. Here, I'm going to cut the mapping in half. Let's go at 0.5 to have more proportionate facets refraction. You can tweak that right here. Great. Now it's all about tweaking the value and the contrast. Don't forget to tweak the saturation also. Tweak the trace precision to 1. You might also bring down the value on the diamond and go add a light. Point light. Now let's bring the light inside the diamond right there. And let's tweak the power of this light and the size of the light. So tweak the position of the light and the size of the light and the power of the light. Make it smaller or bigger, and you can put several light sources inside the diamond. So this is obviously very much camera view dependent, but it works also for animation. Now we're going to add a slight fog atmosphere to the background, add mesh cube, no rotation, move it behind your set there, scale it so it occupies the background view. Now let's go to shading, new material, fog. Now let's erase the principled shader. We're going to add shader principled volume right there, plug volume to volume right there. Now let's go to render settings for volumetrics. We need to set the clipping. Let's find the correct distance. The camera view, let's go at 500. Now the color of the fog is going to be a light pink. Now here, add a color ramp. Now plug the color ramp into density like this. Add input texture coordinates generated, plug it into factor, add a gradient texture, set it here. Now play with the color ramp and see that this works. Now rotate the cube 90 degrees like this. Let's go to camera tweak position and proportions, but obviously we don't want it darker, we want it lighter. So in EEVEE, let's add some strength to the emission. 0.01 color emission, let's go to pink. And now let's go to add converter, math, set it on the color ramp. Let's go to multiply and tweak the strength of the density. Now, duplicate this multiply node, bring it to the emission strength right there, and find the proper value that goes with your set. Mine is here. So now I can bring the fog closer here. I can rotate it if necessary. So now I have this sweet and smooth background fog working in EEVEE. So this renders in 1 second. We have a setup with volumetrics and neon lights in EEVEE. So rendering is really fast. Obviously the quality is a bit different, but we are here because this is very interesting to do, to learn. You can apply this for many things. Now let's create some animation. Let's go to layout. So let's go to 1800 frames. So let's go frame rate 60. We are going to render a PNG sequence. There's no alpha, save as RGB, compression 0, full quality. Let's create a frames directory right there. Folder frame, jewelry, anim frames, enter, save and be happy. The point light is inside the diamond. So I need to select the light and the ring, and let's make a parent object. So now let's go to solid view, check that when I move the ring, it moves the light, because the light is now parented to the ring. Great. We're going to make some particle effects. So the ring is going to stay still for 5 seconds. So 300 frames. Let's keyframe the location, insert keyframe, right click, insert keyframe on the rotation, and why not on the scale. Let's go back to frame 1, right click, insert keyframe, insert keyframe, insert keyframe. Let's save this. We have 1800 divided by 2. Let's put a keyframe here also, and let's go to the last frame, 1800. Insert keyframe, insert keyframe, insert keyframe. Right. Let's go back to the middle keyframe here. I want the ring to go up, GZ. I want it to rotate, double R. I want it to come here. So let's keyframe this. Let's keyframe that. Save, but I want it to make a 360 degrees rotation to go back. So the ring is going to move up, rotate 360, and then go back down. Let's have a preview of this. This is exactly what I need. So I have the ring there, but I want it to stay still for a second, and I want some slow motion, some ease in and some ease out. Let's go to animation. Now here in this window, I want the graph editor. So what I want is on the Z location and on the Z rotation. Normalize the view, we have this Alt-A, save. So to avoid conflict, we are going to work on the rotation first. What I'm going to do is move it to the left, GX minus 60 frame. With this frame selected, let's do a Shift D X. Let's duplicate this value and move it 120 frames to the right. Okay, so the ring is going to go up and stop rotating for a moment. So this means that we need to do the same for the Z location. Let's check the animation, spacebar. The other rotation, the rotations on X and Y, I'm going to keep them at the same pace. So the ring does not stay totally still while in the air. It gives it a slight rotating effect while up there in position. So now we're set with the animation, but we still need some particle effects because obviously we need to add some particles somewhere. Let's take the small podium. Let's go to edit mode. You should have these vertices already selected. Let's go to vertex group plus assign, call this emitter. Let's go out of edit mode. Let's go to particles. Let's add a particle system right there. Okay, let's go directly to vertex groups. And the density is going to be the emitter. Now, the field weights, I want the gravity to be -2 because the particles must go up. Now, I want the particles to go from 1 to 300, and let's give them a life of 150. Okay, let's make the source to be the volume random. Let's make the cache to this cache. Then it all depends on the render settings. So, and obviously this is going to be a loop animation because we all like loop animations. And we need to create a particle for the render. Add object sphere from view. Let's move it out of the field somewhere there. Auto smooth. Let's call this spark. Okay. Let's give it a material. Let's call it also spark. Now let's go to shading. Let's go to our object here. This is the spark material. So the spark material is going to emit a slightly blue light emission strength. Let's go maybe at 10. And now what we're going to do is that we're going to select the particle systems. Okay, don't forget to bake. Let's bake to disk the system so the particles don't change anymore, so I can bake them already. The render settings can be changed even after the baking. That's what I want you to know. So render as object. The object instance is the spark right there. Now let's tweak the scale of the particles. Okay, so at 0.6 is pretty good, but let's make some scale randomness here at 1. Let's have a look at that from the render preview. Okay, this is quite fun. What I want to change is that I need the particles to live a bit longer. Delete the bake, and I'm going to give them a life of hundreds, but I'm going to make the randomness at 1. Let's bake again, and this creates a very nice sparkling effect for our podium and jewelry render. So we can see this real time here. Hello, dear passengers, this is Damien, your captain speaking. Please go back to your seat, fasten your seatbelt, and get ready to reach the end of this tutorial. I hope you enjoy your flight. The exterior temperature is 25 degrees. Welcome to Mexico. Thanks for subscribing, following, commenting, becoming members, and buying my assets on the Blender market. Have a nice day, take care, and see you soon.